Welcome, everybody, back to the Cigar Lockdown. I am joined by none other than Clay Roberts and Javi from Plasencia Cigar Company. How are you, Hermano? What is going on?
What's the word?
Good, man. Good. Looking forward to catching up with you guys. Talk a little, cigars, and just have a good time here. There's always a good time with you guys. You know how it is.
Where are you sitting? That wood behind you is very Honduran.
Ooh.
Well, actually, we're at our tasting room here at in Miami. So
They have a tasting room.
Maybe got a tasting.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Plasencia.
so my
Bougie.
office happens to be on top of a brewery, believe it or not. So we have a tasting room.
Oh, so you're at the
brewery, we're at the tank, which actually the lights just turned off here. So I got to see what's going on here. I don't know if you guys can see me well there, but so we got a brewery, we have a tasting room, and we have a cigar lounge as well adjacent to it. So the tank is the first brewery that has a cigar lounge adjacent to it. So it's actually pretty fun.
That's very cool, man. So what are you drinking? Like, what's your go-to at the tank?
Well, we have a lot of beers that we actually make here. The tank makes all draft beers here, and my favorite is the Freedom Tower. So the great thing is all my friends that fly out, all my retailers, pretty much we're 10, 15 minutes from the airport. So they fly in, we pick them up, come over here, have a cigar, have a beer, 4,000 square foot tasting room, and we have all a good time. As a matter of fact, we have Rafael Nodal from Altadas just sitting down at the lounge right now, and we have a couple of friends coming in later on. So this is more of a family. The shop is actually called Family Cigar Shop.
Yeah.
So we just have that's what we pretty much treat it as. Our family come over here, our friends come over here, and we have a good time. Here at the tank.
Is Rafael wearing another new suit?
Believe it or not, Rafael mentioned that today is his first official day on vacation without interviews. So you will not see Rafael Nodal on Facebook.
Oh, we'll fix that.
Like that. Yeah, you should call him up and ask him for an interview. It's actually pretty funny. So it happens to be Oxtail Tuesday here in Miami.
Ooh,
so we
Oxtail
actually ordered a
Tuesday.
Oxtail Tuesday, which is funny. It's something we hear in the office that we do. So it happens to be Rafael showed up, and it happens to be Oxtail Tuesday. So. We have a good time here at the office. We're very blessed, so.
I love that,
Absolutely.
brother.
Well, listen, let's get the dried plant business out of the way. Then we're going to talk a little about you, baby. What are we smoking here that's in the pack? This is absolutely a fantastic cigar. Very enjoyable.
So this is the cigar that you guys are going to have in the sampler pack is called the Reserva Original Robusto, right?
Ooh.
So the Robusto is the only certified organic cigar in the industry. It's actually certified by the Organic Crop Improvement Association. So it's actually what we call, it's the soul of our Alma series. Why? Because all of our Alma cigars, the Alma Fuerte, Alma Fuego, Alma del Campo, have some organic cigar in it, which gives it a little distinguished taste. Now, what organic means is that it's pretty much the closest things to what the Indians were growing when they started growing tobacco. The pesticide and all that stuff. It's all organic. Everything organic from the seed, from the planting, the fermentation, the soil, the pesticide. Everything is organic, and it's actually approved by the Organic Crop Improvement Association. So we actually got paperwork for it.
Awesome.
And that's the exciting part. So I think the organic cigar came to be because our owner, Nestor Andres, our CEO, is an agronomer by trade. So I believe he was challenged to make an organic cigar, since we have the land there in Nicaragua, to make an organic cigar. So he took it upon himself to actually create the only organic cigar in the industry. And it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of love, a lot of trials to make an organic cigar. So we actually made it. And we got paperwork for it. So we're very excited for the consumers to try this. It's a very extremely unique cigar. Very different flavor profile. There's a lot of work and science that go behind it. So we're very excited to get it out there to you guys in the pack, because I believe it's going to be something very different that you've not usually have tried before. And that's what we want to do with you guys. Give the consumer the ability to try something that was unique, different, and that's why we offered it to you guys. So we're very excited to hear the feedback, and love working with you guys.
And this is available in brick and mortar around the country, yes?
Correct. They're available in brick and mortars around the country. It's one of the first lines we came out with a couple of years ago, but it's actually got rebranded into the Reserva Original. It used to be called the Plasencia organic cigar,
right?
But now it's called the Organica. So if you guys have tried it before, this is the Reserva Original with about 15 to 20 years of organic material in the soil. So we're very excited to promote this, because
Yeah.
each year we fix the soil with more organic product, so the cigar gets better throughout the year. So we're very excited to see this year's batch, 5 years ago because it's aged for 5 years, see how that came out, and we're working on it. And like I said, we're very excited to get it out there with you guys.
Javi, what's it? I've always been a big fan, obviously, and I've been working with Nestor Andreas and the remainder of Nestor Senior for almost my entire career. What's it like to be Plasencia Cigars, who makes so many cigars for so many people, and then you enter the marketplace and you show up with your own products? They're stellar. And like I said before, I'm obviously a big fan. But what's that moment like for young Javi, who's hopping around, burning
I gotta say,
rubber?
I gotta say before Javi answers the question, Javi is out there old school, like when we were all younger. Javi's the new breed of younger, passionate representatives of our industry.
I love it.
And I mean, he is everywhere. And remember how we used to do the trip, Sammy, where we'd be out for days and weeks and weeks. Every time in summer, there's Javi. I'm like, bro, have you been home in the last six months? He's like, yeah, I went home for an hour, had a shower, a little Royce con pollo. My girlfriend punched me in the face, and I'm back out here. So, Javi is doing what this path has been created by a lot of us, and the passion in him is absolutely identifiable, and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, and it is old school, and you don't see a lot of it nowadays.
No,
especially Javi, not on your level. And you know that Clay and I think the world of you. We see you often out there on the streets, but you're doing what needs to be done to build a brand. That is what you're doing right now, regardless of what that name is.
Yeah.
I mean, Plasencia is almost a household name in the super premium cigar category, and Nestor Andreas and Nestor Senior and the team that you guys have created have made cigars, some of the finest cigars in the world. And
well, I've had great mentors. I've learned a lot. I mean, I admire you guys, in the industry, everything you guys have done. I see your hard work. It fuels me to see the hard work you guys have put into it. One of my mentors, Juan Lopez from Gurkha, he taught me a lot, and I've been Juani was one of my mentors, and then I've been very blessed to work with Nestor Andres Plasencia, AJ Fernandez as well, and I've always tried to learn how to emulate the best in this industry, right? And I catch what you guys do well, and I use it as well. I'm not perfect, but I learn from you guys. So answering the question, it has to start with Nestor Andres Plasencia and the team at Plasencia. I remember that when I got to Plasencia, when they took me to Nicaragua, they pretty much took me to Nicaragua to show what they can do, right? From the factory level to the quality control level, it was extremely overwhelming in a good way, right? So it was a way that Nestor Senior sat down with me and he mentioned it to me. He said, I want to show you all of this so you can see what we can do, but we want your input. And that meant a lot to me. The fact that I was working with a family that had over 150 years experience, yet they were asking a guy that just came into their team for advice. And I felt like this is where I needed to be. So that was the first step in they were showing me their humility and that they believed in me. So when somebody believes in you, you want to work with them so much more, so harder, and this is like I mentioned again, 150 years of experience at the time. Now we're at 155. So going into a store was, what? I need to do this for the thousands of employees that we have rolling cigars, for the programs, for the daycare that we provide to the people. So I had a lot. I wasn't working for me. I was working for all the the 10,000 employees that we have in Plasencia Cigars, to build up the brand. So I couldn't lose. I wasn't going to lose, and I was going to show them the passion that we do in everything that we do, because everything that we do is for the final consumer, but everything that we do is for our family as well in Nicaragua, the employees. So it was easier than I thought, because of the passion that I pretty much try to replicate, because I'm an extension of that family. And I'm an extension of all our employees in Nicaragua. So that's why it was a little bit easier.
And Javi, at the same time, it's very, very difficult. It's got to be a difficult position for you, and to come from a place of gratitude, come from a place of empathy, like you were talking about. I don't know another individual in this industry in its entirety who is as passionate about cigars and as passionate about the industry in its totality and his own product and the products that he makes for other people as Nestor Andreas. You know, I consider him a very good friend. We go way back. It's old school. But every time we're together, he says to me, Sammy, we got to figure out a way. We got to figure out a way to reach more people. This is such a beautiful industry. Look at what it is that we do. And look, man, like you, like me, like you, like Clay, we're totally interconnected in this. I mean, you guys make a lot of the La Palina portfolio. And we're proud to call you we're proud to call you our business partners. And still, with Nestor, no matter how big this company gets, no matter where it goes, I know that there's always going to be that sign of humility that you showed coming out of the House of Plasencia, because it's how, you know, Nestor Andreas, Nestor Senior, Gustavo, Jose Luis, it's how they're programmed. You know, it's the way that they were raised. It's inherent in them. And I've never met a group of individuals who are more proud and love this industry more than the Plasencia family. So it's got to be a tough road to haul, bro. I'm sure it is.
And like I said, you know, my team here in Miami, we're an extension of that. And my job is to continually remind them of that family, of that passion, that constant reminder of never take things for granted. Just because we are Plasencia and we have the history, that we should always do our best, that we should always give that extended passion, because, you know, we're an extension and we have to be that way, because we truly believe that we grow some of the best tobacco in the world, that we have the best partners, and we're always trying to, you know, like, you know, he tells you, right, how do we create great another, you know, more smokers? Not because of anything, but just because it's such a passion. You know, 300 hands touch this cigar. It's such an art form that we believe that people, you know, are probably missing out on, right? And it's such an enjoyment. Everybody that you see with a cigar is always happy, celebrating, you know, and we just want to give that, extend that, you know, nothing more, just extend the happiness and joy that we provide. So it's a great family to work with. I am extremely blessed. That's all I have to say.
Look, Javi, it's always very interesting to me, because you get a guy like you or me or Clay, or whether it's a Nestor Andreas or whether it's a Rocky Patel, you know, you have to walk into that room, and this product, while it's very approachable, people don't ever want to look silly. Like you watch people pick up a glass of wine, right? Like, you're not supposed to hold the glass of wine when it's white wine in your hand, because it heats the wine. There's all these fucking rules. And, you know, it's like you walk in to a cigar shop, whether it's Brian at Cigar Train or Richie Castellano, the guys here, blah, 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 wherever they are across the country, a guy like Scott Regina, who's a legacy player, a guy like Abe DeBabna, every single time you walk in a humidor, right, a deal is won or lost, but on a greater level. And I truly believe that in the heart of Plasencia and what it is that you guys stand for, it's more than just we sold more Plasencia cigars, because it's Nestor Andreas believes in the creation of more cigar smokers. So if somebody cuts the cigar the wrong way, if somebody lights the cigar the wrong way, they're going to create a displeasurable experience. Right? Like if they char the end of the cigar, they don't light it the right way, and then if they cut the cigar too deep and it begins to unravel. And so we have a job, right? A higher purpose as people
100%.
who work. And I know that you guys are doing that day after day, and it's very, very cool, man. Like what you guys have done, what you've created in the last how many years has it been? Has it been 3 years?
No, it's
5 years.
Almost 5 years. It's actually 4 years, 4 years and a half. So we're approaching 5 years that this whole project started. So I think we've come a long way, and we're very excited to continue going. And you know, when you bring it up like that, it just reminds me of the start. You know, we had the Alma Fuerte line first, and all of a sudden we started releasing little by little the other lines. But I remember the beginning of it, and it's always nice to remember that beginning, because, you know, even though it's the beginning of the line, there's still so much history behind it. So I'm just excited for the next couple of years, man. You know, really am.
I think that one of the key points, but, you know, everybody who's watching tonight, thank you for joining us. But I think that one of the key points is when you look at Cigar Aficionado magazine, when you look at some of the online advertisement, and Plasencia Cigars comes up, it says, light up your soul. And if you've ever had a moment to meet with the Plasencia family or with Javi, you're going to feel that when you're around these individuals. They are human beings first, and they believe in this industry to the umpteenth level. When you talk about somebody who's vertically integrated from seed all the way to smoke, This is the predominant family in the premium cigar category, and they are some of the nicest people and the proudest people that you will ever meet. And that ad is not bullshit. They truly believe that when you light up a Plasencia cigar, when you light up a cigar, you're lighting up your soul. And we are so proud to have you guys as a part of the Cigar Lockdown, and so proud to have you guys in the pack.
That's amazing.
We love working with you guys. We love the idea. We love everything that you guys are doing to create new smokers and just to give the opportunity for, the consumer to enjoy a variety of cigars from brilliant manufacturers. From, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's the art form that is in every single one of those cigars. Each one of those cigars in those packs have a piece of art and imagination from a different manufacturer. So even though it is a bunch of leaves, it really isn't. There's so much to that history, to that cigar, and we are honored, truly honored to be a part of this, and we look forward to seeing the response and continue to do it for many more years.
How did you feel, Javi, just to get deep here for just a second, when you made the transition and you moved from AJ Fernandez, who's another wonderful tobacco maker, and he's also related, he's Nestor Andreas's cousin. So you went from, the frying pan into the fire here, but the experience, right? Because Abdel's got a wonderfully beautiful factory, but when I walked into Plasencia family for the first time, I felt a certain way. And I want to know how you felt the first time, because when Nestor took me around the factory for the first time and he told me about the fountain, right? You get the you get the full Gringo tour, right? And he treats everybody the same. Right. But when he talks about that fountain that sits in the, what do we call it, the courtyard?
In the garden. Yeah,
in the garden. It just takes your breath away. And then when they redid the conference room, right, with all the individual cigars and the P for Plasencia is like, right, with the different shades. It's amazing. And you talk about the conference room table and how things are created and they're recirculated, and you're using all the natural elements from Nicaragua. It's really just very cool. So how did you feel in that moment, walking into family and taking that tour for the very first time?
Well, one of the things that impacted me was a lot of the quotes that were on the walls, right? A lot of quotes that were impactful as soon as you read them, right? What I noticed when I saw that was, if they're so attention to detail in the factory, they're going to be attention to detail in the cigar. So I was already halfway there, and the quality of the cigars, in the farming aspect, in the fermentation, I mean, at every aspect of the cigar growing process, I knew that there was going to be some meticulous. They were going to be so meticulous on it, just by the way that the factory is so clean, how people are. When we have an in-house doctor, a daycare center, everything was just so clean.
We didn't even get into
and I was like,
we didn't even get into that, which is you bring up a good point. Directly across from the factories are daycare centers and learning centers for all of the single mothers and single fathers, but predominantly single mothers who come to work, so that while they're at work, there's daycare provided for the children, and there is also an educational component so that they're going to school while the mothers and the fathers and the sisters and the brothers are working in the Plasencia family factory. I hope that we can get some footage of that, Javi. If you can send us some pictures, because we're obviously pre-recording this. We'd love to showcase that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll ask him to send you that stuff. But getting back to the question, when I saw that, I was like, this is more than just tobacco. This is more than just tobacco. This is a lifestyle. This is where I need to be. So that was pretty much my reaction towards it. I was just in utter awe, to be honest with you. That's the right. It sums it up, Well, as you were.
Yeah, absolutely. I was taken aback, and actually, I was there very early on in my career, and I sat with Ivan, and he's the one who taught me how to roll cigars, and I sat there for days, and I really wanted to take the watch, smash it on the table, and look at every single component, and that's where I really attained a very broad knowledge base was out of that factory, and so it's got a very special place. It's near and dear to my heart, brother.
Man, I mean, bringing that up, man. I mean, when I first rolled a cigar, it was horrendous. I mean, I couldn't give it away for free, right? Yeah, I mean, like everybody. So once once I realized, and I tell that when I'm doing events, I'm like, have you ever, when somebody's complaining about any cigar, right? I ask them, have you ever rolled a cigar? And they're like, no. And I go, well, the day you do, you're gonna realize that what you are actually smoking right now is so well constructed compared to what anybody else would do, that it's amazing. So it's a different appreciation when you do things like rolling a cigar and maybe going into a factory. So I always recommend any consumers that are maybe watching, if you have the opportunity to go see a factory or go see how these people work every single day, just so you can have an experience, and that's one of the things that we do. The most priceless commodity is time, right? And the simple fact that a consumer will try one of our cigars, they are giving us 45 minutes to an hour and a half of their time, and we are so honored because time is priceless. I mean, you can't get it back. So we always try to give a great experience with every cigar because of that time that they're giving it to us. And I'm sure you guys do too, and everybody in that pack is doing it too. And that's what it's all about,
Yeah, I mean, Javi, that's a great point. And I said this last night. I had a Zoom meeting. It was very, very late, and it was on Facebook Live. And of course, we've been doing this all year long, and it's draining. So it's so great to talk to your peers in the industry. But dude, I said the same thing last night. They're like, well, you're giving up 45 minutes of your life. I said, but I'm also taking 45 minutes from somebody else's life. So let's have a good time. How do we make it different? It's the holidays. We want to, Clay and I always, and Bill, we're large components of giving back. You've got to give back. And so
absolutely, 100%.
Listen, talking about time, it's interesting. You're on the road a lot, and a lot of consumers out there are getting to know you now. You're now one of the fixtures, right? And it happens quickly. And
trying.
But now people know you out there, and more are getting to know you. So let's say you're on the road for the weekend, and you have a Sunday off in a random city, Dallas, Omaha, wherever it is. What do you do for the day? Like, it's your day off, and you're just gonna. What do you do? Do you go run? Do you like to? Are you a foodie? Like, what are you up to?
I since you mentioned it was a Sunday, I try to make it to church. That's my first thing. As that's just I was raised. I try to make it to church. Give thanks to God for all the many blessings I've received. I never try to take anything for granted. And then, probably go hang out at one of my favorite lounges. I mean, I'm here in a lounge. Why not? And try to share as much as I can. I still go dressed like this. It's just, I feel like I never stop. Just never stop, no matter if you're a day off. And you know what? Hopefully try to catch the plane on time. That's my only concern after that. So,
are you a food guy, or are you a whiskey guy? Or are you like, what are your other passions?
You know what, man? Mine's sports. Sports. I like my scotch here and there, but if I can go catch a game or watch a game or something like that, that's what I prefer to do. I enjoy my whiskey with my friends and all that, but once in a while, not too heavy on that stuff. But sports is my thing. That's why I've become good friends with some certain players, and if I can talk sports and watch sports, I'm all game.
Very cool.
I love that, man. Javi, before we hop, I just wanted to say one thing. It's the holidays. We've got Christmas right around the corner. We're going to be together. I don't know whether you're going to be on the live show. It's going to be Nestor, Andreas. You guys chop it up, decide who's going to be joining us, or both of you. Doesn't matter to Clay and I. The more, the merrier.
Oh, absolutely.
We want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas, and we'll speak to you before the new year. But remember this, my brother. It's few and far between in this industry, and you were doing a great job. We're not blowing smoke up your ass when Clay and I say this, and you are very lucky to have the Plasencia family, but the Plasencia family is also very lucky to have you.
Absolutely.
I think it's a match made
I've seen
in heaven.
I've seen it in action, and it's
Thank
both
you
sides.
guys very much.
Yeah.
And you guys are a blessing to me. And first of all, inviting me on the show here, and your friendships mean a lot to me. I know I can give you guys anytime a call, and you guys are always there for me. You guys always make me laugh, and I appreciate your
couple of clowns.
That's right. Well, we love you, Poppy. Thank you so much for making the time, and
thank you.
we greatly appreciate you guys participating. And there's more to come. Who the heck knows what's going to happen in 2021? But we know that we're going to be together one way or another. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Javi.
All right,
Thank you, brother. Thank you, guys.
Man.
Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.